Good evening, everyone. Roblox Combat Warriors. The impact that this game had on people. This was pretty much a one-of-a-kind melee game. If you ignore Mortem Metallum over there, this game was very good. Why does it suck now? Let's go back to the beginning to understand. Back then, this game truly was very simple. The only movement tech we had was sprinting and rolling. No new gen sliding and super jumping. That's all we had. There was no animations for ranged weapons. There was no glory killing. There was finishing animations that had recycled animations. Yeah, I think you get it now. The game was more simple, the player base was more chill, and we can talk about how this game was a free view generator. One of the main YouTubers for this game at the time was 40PM and Elemental. These YouTubers were the shit. Also, I don't have much footage of this game back then, so I'm mostly using their footage. Anyways, let's move on to a major update. This was the beginning of the golden age for Combat Warriors. For this update, we had two new maps called Mortem Insula and Outpost Island. Mortem Insula might have already been in the game, but I forgot. This update also added an emote wheel to the game, and emotes were behind a game pass, except for two. They added the golf club and baton. At this time, the longsword and iron sword were the free weapons. The bow staff was the third weapon you would unlock, and the baton was 13k. The baton was pretty good, and the golf club is mid. Another thing was that 5 servers are free. Hopefully they don't go back on that later down the line. At this point, we would have the rise of the Dragon Slayer and crossbow. New players would hate Dragon Slayer uses, then later become one. Most of the people that played the game didn't have Dragon Slayer, so they would just get shit on by a 2-hit weapon and complain in the Roblox chat about how it's so overpowered. Fast forward a few months later, we had voice chat in Combat Warriors.
Oh, riot shield! I'm a pussy that use riot shield!
What do you want me to use?
Voice chat wouldn't be cared about as much since not many people had voice chat at the time. This was pretty much the golden era of Combat Warriors, up to the River of Sins update. A month later, we would get another major update that added a clan system to the game. Glory kills were added, which is just the same recycled animation, but you know what I mean. We got 3 new weapons in the game, the glaive, which is a heavy weapon, and the glaive was like the Dragon Slayer but faster. Some people preferred the glaive over the Dragon Slayer, and then we would have a light weapon called the Scimitar, which Elemental didn't even know was a new weapon in the game, which explains a whole lot of the weapon. And we would have another option to the katana, the Shiko Mizuo. I don't know how to pronounce that. They also kinda nerfed and buffed the crossbow at the same time. They also added sliding a bit later after this update, and some players would notice that in a private server, there was another map that has not been finished yet, and was just a little bit of terrain. This update took forever to come out, and in July of 2022, we got the update. We got a new map called the River of Sin. Cool map. They added the new Roblox chat, which people including me didn't like. Mantling was also added, they added new weapons, armor was added, and private servers now cost Robux to have. Yeah, we don't care. Let's move on to an update that had mid changes. So we got the fucking chainsaw added to the game. A bit later, they buffed it for some reason. The new map was Crossroads V2. Nobody really liked the new map. Next update. The Christmas update, in my opinion, this is when they started to go downhill. They added skills, which is just abilities, into the game. This was a little stupid. We also got the Yoro sword, which nobody cared about. Triple katanas were added, which just... like, why? We also have the splash potions. There was 5 different ones. Damage splash, which did 30 damage. Poison splash that did 50 damage. The health splash, which I fucking hated. Like what 40PM said in his one video.
Heal yourself if you're bad at the game.
The health splash was dumb and stupid, and I'm glad they removed it from the game. And stamina splash, which is cool, I suppose. And slow splash, which is dumb also. I forgot when, but they removed Mortem Insula and Outpost Island for some reason. River of Sin also got deleted from the game. They changed crossroads V1 and V2 to be winter themed with snow. They added the black hole disaster to the game, which is ironic since this update is a disaster. Tommy gun was also in the game, which kinda made it pay to win. New emotes were added and the emotes game pass was deleted. A month later, a new update. They nerfed the skills, reverted the winter maps, added back River of Sins, new game modes were added, nobody cares about the game modes, right? A while later, we got old Dragon Slayer animations back in the game, since people didn't like the new ones. That's pretty cool. Hopefully they don't go back on this. They removed the health splash potion and other splash potions, which was good. But this was the start of the mythic weapon hell. They added the energy blade to the game, which is pretty cool. But to get the weapon, you need to spend other Robux or credits on cases for a 0.01 chance of getting the weapon.
Cause what the fuck I gotta do to go and buy me a mansion? Huh?
Do you see the problem here? They have an OP weapon behind cases. They also started adding guns to the game that you can get through Robux or daily spins. First of all, why are guns inside of a melee game? Imagine like Dark and Darker or something, adding guns to the game that you have to spend real life money on. Nobody liked the direction that the devs were going. We later got a new mythic called the Sea Beast, which is an even more powerful Dragon Slayer that also needs gambling to get. We also got a new weapon called the Anchor, which is a legendary and can be bought through cases again. So at this point, the new weapons we are getting needs gambling. And I was also trying to get back into the game at this time, which I later quit because the game has lost its charm. And here we are in the present 2025. They also removed the old Dragon Slayer animations. They've added so much new shit to this game. This game has changed so much from 2022 to now. They added more healing options and added back the health splash. And there's a new parry system which nobody liked. Like, why are you changing the gameplay that people have got so used to for 3 years? And the game is just unplayable. We have got OP pay-to-win weapons that are locked behind a loot crate system, lowering the skill ceiling of the game by adding the stupidest shit to the game. Health splashes, guns given to you for free for having a high kill streak, mythical weapons dropped on you for having a higher kill streak. There's no way for a new player to be able to play the game in this current state. Many of the popular YouTubers for this game have quit and decided to move on to something better. I love Combat Warriors. My love for this game has drained and drained, to the point where this game is not fun anymore. I come back to this game once in a while just to see how the game is doing. It's like visiting someone in the hospital to see how they're doing. And with this game, they need to just unplug the machine, keeping the game alive. It's sad to see how this game used to be played and talked about. Even if they just didn't update the game anymore, that might have been for the best, since we wouldn't have these changes. This was Critical Ping. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video.